You are watching the Tuesday night edition of Chicago Corner. Woo!
Welcome to Taco Tuesday! Who wants a taco?
You ready to eat some tacos, bro? You ready to eat some tacos, bro?
All right, everyone. Act normal. Perfect.
Oh my God! It's Taco Tuesday!
I don't feel it's my place to tell people how much they should drink.
And there are ants in my whiskey.
They add flavor, Kira. Is that
man,
like the worm in tequila?
Have you seen my whiskey ants anywhere?
That's okay. That's okay. The show will go on, everybody.
Speaking of inflatable meat wads.
Happy Taco Tuesday.
Hit it. That's good.
Oh, hello. Welcome to Chicago Corner on a lovely Taco Tuesday. I am deep dish pizza enthusiast Edward Heller, and we have an interesting show for you tonight. As soon as I can figure out what's on the show program. Oh, if you want to follow along at home, you can check the description on I think most of the platforms, but definitely the YouTube and the Rockfin, and there's a link for the show notes where we have a lot of the stuff that we're talking about in the program. You can follow along, so that's pretty cool. And so if you were looking at the show notes right now, you would know that today is National Zucchini Day. And I got nothing really, other than, usually if you let zucchinis grow too long, they turn into gigantic baseball bats. And that's usually, if I had to guess, that's the origin of zucchini bread.
That's what she said.
Yes. And my co-host this evening is Mr. Jerry Vasilatos. Jerry, thanks for chiming in there.
I didn't want to jump the gun, but it was just you left too big of an opening that I had to go through. That's what she said too.
Yeah, but never mind that zucchini stuff because, Jerry, it's International Cat Day. And so it's kind of Oreo's holiday because I like to imagine, Jerry, that he is one of those spy cats, and he's just slinking around when you're not around, and he's going on adventures and stuff. Although I guess we learned that he was on a different kind of adventure today, didn't we, Jerry?
We did, right before the show, when Ed told me we were going to talk about International Cat Day. I said, well, I'd love to honor him if I could find him, because I couldn't find him anywhere. So I'm rolling around the apartment real quick before the show. Oreo. Then I think to myself, you know what? I closed the closet door 3 hours ago before I left the house. What are the chances he was in there? And that's why I can't find him. I opened the door. There he is. So the lesson of the story is never close a closet door unless you've cleared it of cats. Because he was in there on a little spy mission, I guess, and now he's taking over the desk here.
Well, but he knows it's his day. He's like, dude, it's my day. I'm going to do whatever I want in front of your camera, and you're not going to stop me.
What you don't realize is every day is his day. Every day is International Cat Day. He's going to give you a little shot of his bum now. It's their world. We're just living in it.
It's true. It's so true. Wait, he just knocked Jerry's camera off. That was
well. I appreciate the sentiment on his behalf. They know every day is Every day is Cat Day, not just International Cat Day. They rule everything.
But we had, it's not just us celebrating it. Here is Fox 59 Indianapolis celebrating International Cat Day.
Ooh, 1976. Maybe Al Stewart sang about the year of the cat. Today is International Cat Day.
I love that song.
Did you know there are more than 58 million pet cats in the U.S.? Well, we thought we would use today's observance to ask a vet some common questions many cat owners have. Perfect timing with the song. Joining me with the answers, Dr. Rachel Campbell-Back, Medical Director for Pet Wellness Clinics. Our studio is under construction.
Yep.
So
now, it's interesting that a news station gets a lot of questions about cats, Jerry.
Yeah.
I don't.
Why do you think? Why do you think that's odd?
Well, I mean, they're a news station. Are a lot of people calling to ask questions about cats and not actual news?
Well, no, they know that it's International Cat Day. That's why they're doing a whole segment on it.
Oh, okay. But she made it sound like people are always calling us to ask us questions about cats, and I'm like, you're a news station though. Asking their vet.
I got distracted on that point that you made because I was trying to get my iPhone.
I'm just having fun with it. I'm just having fun with the news people here.
So we could actually have a cat cam during the show.
Ooh, that would be fun.
I'm all about that. That's my middle name, Ed. It's fun.
All right. Well, while you're fiddling with the possible technologies that we are all awaiting, Jerry, we're gonna go and continue with this video.
So it's nice to have you up here on the desk. We get a lot of questions from cat owners, and one of the things they want to keep their cats. They want to prevent them from scratching the furniture. You have some ideas?
Sure, yeah.
We're peeing on it. Did you hear me?
Those difficult things that sometimes you don't think about, until you actually have your cat, and then you maybe have some furniture that's nostalgic or maybe is quite expensive, and then they're doing those things. And in general, I mean, one of the biggest tips, of course, that's pretty basic. Most people know about scratching posts. There's different types. There's horizontal. There's vertical. Cats may prefer certain textures as well. But not only that, that's a pretty common one. But clipping their nails frequently. And if you can't do that safely at home, then talk to your veterinarian. Most of their staff can help you there. And then also, there's other things, environment enrichment, things like that as well.
I like this one. That's at the top of this list because I thought this seems so obvious, but not something that I thought about. Double-sided tape, because I understand they're not big fans.
Yeah, some cats don't like, similar to water, they don't like to feel.
But doesn't that kind of torture though? It's like,
I mean, basically they won't want to step on something sticky. You're basically knowing cat behavior, you're training them to learn something that they're going to want to avoid. It's not to torture them.
Oh, okay. So kind of like like you stepped into like a I don't know, like a mud puddle or something. Are you gonna?
They have an instinct. They'll stay away from it. They'll what's the word? They'll imprint with the experience, and then they won't go back. Now I got to check my email for the code. Okay.
Let's continue.
On their foot. So you feel kind of bad doing it. I feel kind of bad doing it because they're like real annoyed. But that's the point is you put it on the areas that they're scratching, and then they don't like the feeling. So then the hope is that it deters them away.
Yeah.
In the meantime, there's tape on your furniture,
right?
But that's the point. Other ideas is even just covering it, with something, or just going into, if you ever are getting a cat, expectations of the type of furniture you have and the access that your cats have to that furniture is something to consider when you're getting a cat.
Do we have? I don't know if we can put that graphic back up real quick just to make sure. Did we hit all of the tips? Because I don't want to miss any of them. So that you talk about the scratch clipping and throw. Oh, how about that? Throwing the toy in the opposite direction. Not a bad idea.
We talked a little bit about what to do if you catch them in the act, like what do you do? And so that's one thing, is kind of redirecting their attention.
Okay.
So you can throw an object, a toy, try to distract them away from it, and then work on those tips of trying to prevent it. There are other things like squirting water bottles and things. That's a little controversial. You got to be a little careful about that. You don't want them to associate, fear with you. So if you're doing that a lot, that could backfire.
Okay, tell me the truth about milk, because is it good or bad for cats?
So in general, unless you're feeding bottle feeding baby kittens, please.
I go to all this trouble, and he scampers away. All of this, screwing up my camera. I give him his own camera now, and he's gone.
And he's
somewhere back here. Where are you, you little rascal? Hold on. Let me. You know what?
He'll be back.
I'm going to be mobile. Let's see where he is. Since it's International Cat Day. Oh, where are you? Oh, I see where he is. It might be dark, but let's see if I can. Oh no, I don't see where he is. I thought he was there.
See, I think we need the Spy Cat music for this.
We do.
Is that Oreo up there? Did we find him? I can't hear you, Jerry. Oh, there he is.
Come on, buddy. Oreo, come on.
Some of you at home may not realize Jerry has, I don't know what, about half a dozen cats living there right now. What do you got? 3 or 4 cats, Jerry? 3. One of them was by the window.
Yeah, that was my senior Sylvester. So, all right. Well, since it's International Cat Day, we're going to see how involved he wants to stay with the program. You going to come up here, you little punk? All right.
Yeah. Well, I'm done with the video anyway.
Okay. Hey, look.
I just wanted to make an excuse to highlight Oreo today, and it was International Cat Day. That made it easy.
Yeah, now he's knocking garbage out of the garbage can. Come on. Get out of here.
He's like, dude, why are you following me with the camera?
Oh, my God. Because all you want to do is interrupt my camera. You want to bogart my camera, little punk.
It's like, I didn't do nothing.
Oh, boy. All right, so we'll keep that there for now. And if he wants to, I mean, we can take that screen off, but if he decides he wants to participate, I will have the camera at the ready here. I'm actually just, where is he there? Yeah, I've got it on my desk now.
All right, so I want to say hello to everybody in the live chat. Thank you for joining us. I'm Big Mr. Firebird, tuned in before the broadcast because he's on another time zone, so he'll probably watch us later. He's been trying to ask me about that wall mural that they uncovered in Pompeii.
Yeah. Oh, here we go.
That's fine.
He's taking over my
I think
camera.
he's. Well, then I think, Jerry, you need to use the other one.
You're probably right, except I can't turn the sound up. Oh, all right, here we go. Anyway, sorry to interrupt you. Please continue.
No, that's fine. So Big Mr. Firebird has been asking about if we'd seen the mural from Pompeii that looks like there is a pizza on the table of food. And I said, it kind of looked, he wanted to know what kind of pizza I thought it was. It looked, if it's a pizza, it looked kind of like a Neapolitan style, but wouldn't Pompeii have predated that, I think?
I don't know my history to have an answer.
But it's not. See, the thing is, what we know as modern pizza today is usually it's a creation of not just the flatbread, but also the ingredients that most people know today. So like the pizza that's known as the pizza margherita is the one that modern pizza is based on. It's tomatoes, basil, and mozzarella, right? Before that, bakers used to bake test breads all the time. They'd have extra dough and they would make these flatbreads and, wouldn't always call them pizzas. And all kinds of cultures have used flatbreads, throughout history. So it's not a crazy idea to think that is a version of pizza that was on that wall in Pompeii.
Very well. I would have, of course, it had to be some form of cooking.
Some kind of flatbread that somebody just threw some fruit and something on. Maybe it was a dish, a dessert, something. Anyway, so that was it. An International Cat Day, still for a few more hours today. And I'm hoping all of your international cats are enjoying it today. I think we're bound to get a little bit of feedback if you have a speaker on your phone, but I don't know. Other than that, if we got the microphone off on the mobile, you're fine.
I turned it off.
Okay. So we can't. Okay.
So
right now I don't see Oreo in that camera yet, but
No, I got it on. We don't need to show it because I've got it flat on my desk. It's at the ready in case he decides to come back.
Okay.
That's why
I'll have to keep an eye peeled on that while we continue with the rest of the show.
You're not going to see anything there unless I pick it up and aim it. So I'll turn it on.
Let me know. Okay. That's a plan. So again, we were checking in with the live chat here. Big Mr. Firebird will be watching us later. Dana Fairbanks, hello. Says happy Oreo Day. There she is. Arturo, we're still trying to determine, Arturo, if we're the reason that you toke up or if we just happen to be happening while you're doing it.
Yeah, what's up with that, Art?
Yeah. So, are we the cause? Because I kind of I might feel a little bad if we're the cause. That you have to toke up to tolerate this program, perhaps?
Well, maybe that's not the program. Maybe it's the personalities.
Oh, yeah, because we suck. Where Pilgrim, hello. Arturo says Oreo is dangerous. Kathy Powers says, yo. Fred Edwards saw you messing around with your mobile phone earlier. Said,
where?
Stop.
Everyone did.
So when you were setting up the camera, the Oreo cam.
See,
he was just joking around. Fred Edward is correcting me. He says, no, you don't tape the cat, Ed. Oh, so you don't put double stick tape on the cat?
No, you put it down in an area so when they step on it. Another secret too, I don't know that she mentioned it because I was distracted by getting the camera set up. They also don't like walking on aluminum foil. So if you want to keep them off something, that's a trick I did here. You put aluminum foil out because they don't like the way it crinkles underneath them.
The crinkly noise. Yeah, I don't like that crinkly noise either. I'm not going to walk on aluminum foil either. Lana Dell, good to see you. Arturo says, alcohol is the reason and the cause for all my troubles. It's also the solution.
I hear that, Ed.
Yes.
Didn't you get that from Homer Simpson?
To alcohol, the cause of and solution to
all of life's problems. That's true.
There's no alcohol in this.
No, I've got water over on this end. I grabbed a little slice of thin pizza on the way home. Got some water here and good to go. So what's on the agenda tonight with stories?
What's on the agenda? We're a little light tonight, but it may end up stretching it just because there's a lot of stuff. You guys may have seen the show description saying that we're doing another This Day in History. A lot of stuff happened on this day in history. We're just covering a few of the things that I thought were cool or interesting. Maybe not cool, depending on which story we talk about. But before that, a little bit of a sad story here. DJ Casper. Some of you may be familiar with the Cha-Cha Slide. He passed away at the age of 58. And a few months back, ABC 7 got had an interview with him.
You hear the song all the time. You hear everybody clap your hands.
Chicago's own DJ Casper, an icon and visionary, leaving behind a song that brings people together from all walks of life. He invited me to his home in May to reflect on his dynamic career and the slide that made him a legend.
It is an international sensation. Did you ever think it would be this big?
No. When I first did it, I did it as an aerobic exercise for my nephew at Vasilatos.
Oh, he was old.
From there, it just took off. Elroy Smith from WGCI grabbed a hold of it. I have one of the biggest songs that's played in all stadiums: hockey, basketball, football, baseball.
Can you pause it for a second, Ed?
Yeah.
See, I have no idea who this guy is. So when I saw the thumbnail, I thought it was a young guy, but that thumbnail was apparently from earlier.
Well, he was 58, but the reason
he looks like he's in his 70s. He does. Because the thumbnail made him look much younger.
Struggling with cancer for.
Oh, okay.
A handful.
So the thumbnail image that you used, was that from earlier in his career?
I think it's from his music video. Actually.
Okay, I got it.
Yeah. So if you,
I'm caught up
because
I didn't
you guys
know
want. Everybody can find DJ Casper's Cha-Cha Slide on YouTube and the internet right now. There's several remixes of it, but his original music video is all over the place. They filmed on location in Chicago for a good portion of the video. And if you attend, a party or a wedding or a birthday, a lot of times they will play this song and people get up on the dance floor, and it's a kind of line dance.
Okay. I get it.
It was just something, that everybody could do.
DJ Casper has performed his popular line dance all over the world.
I was touring with James Brown.
Wow.
But everything came to a halt when the icon was diagnosed with cancer.
They diagnosed me in 2016 with 2 forms of cancer, which is renal and neuroendocrine, which is kidney and liver. So they went in to try to do surgery, and they found out that the kidney was connected to the main artery. So they decided not to do it. They decided to just treat it.
His battle brought waves of challenges over the years. Most recently, Casper shared with me that he was having trouble eating and was losing a lot of weight.
I used to weigh 236 pounds, and I think I'm about 60 pounds lost. If you know me, you know I'm not going to stop. I'm going to continue to go. I will continue to go till I can't go.
As we remember this legendary DJ,
Slide to the left.
Casper told me he hopes his Cha-Cha Slide will always serve as a reminder of the power of unity, community, and positivity. He leaves behind this important message for those who are struggling.
Anybody that's going through cancer, know that you got cancer and cancer don't have you.
That was it. And there's a little more. I got articles in here. I don't know. I didn't really want to do too much reading of them other than I did want to cover a couple. There's a little more to learn about him. Yes.
Okay.
It says DJ Casper. This is from the Chicago Tribune. DJ Casper, best known for creating the hugely successful dance hit Cha-Cha Slide, has died, according to the BBC. I don't know why they're quoting the BBC. He was 58. Casper's wife, Kim, told Chicago's ABC 7, which first reported the news, that he died on Monday after a 7-year bout with cancer. Casper, whose birth name was Willie Perry Jr. I don't think he's related to William Perry, the Chicago Bear. That's just a coincidence, I'm thinking. Was born and raised in Chicago. Cha-Cha Slide, originally released under the title Casper Slide Part 1, was made in 1998 for Casper's personal trainer's nephew's aerobics class. Let me try that again. For Casper's personal trainer nephew's aerobics class. Okay, so his nephew was a personal trainer. That's what they're saying. Okay. After the song gained traction in local fitness clubs, Casper released a new version in 2000, Casper Slide Part 2. That's the one most people probably are familiar with, which started to get radio play. Eventually, Chicago's Mob Records became involved, catapulting the song to further fame in the city by 2004 and later the world. Cha-Cha Slide reached number 1 on the UK singles chart that year, as well as Scotland and Ireland dance charts. So yeah, he went international. That's pretty cool. So it's sad that he died at the age of 58. And then here I've got kind of a crossover with the story I didn't list in the show notes that some of you may be aware of. This guy named Chucktober on TikTok had done a video which is called The Chair Cha-Cha. And some people on Twitter were posting this related to what went on in, was it in Alabama? When did you hear that story about the guy who was working at the dock, the security guy, who was trying to get these other guys to move their boat because a larger boat was supposed to be docking and they weren't docked where they were supposed to be. And then they ganged up and attacked him. And then all these people came out of nowhere to defend him, like Avengers Endgame or something.
I didn't hear the story.
And it was almost kind of a race war, sort of, because it was like the security dock worker was a black guy, and the guys who had the boat, who he was trying to get them to move, were all white. And then when they jumped him, a whole bunch of black people showed up to defend him. Basically, one guy jumped into the water and swam across just to help him out, and another guy grabbed a folding chair. And so this is one of the videos that got posted in a timeline, which I'm not gonna go through tonight, but you guys can check that out at your own leisure on social media, because there's a whole bunch of stuff that's probably would probably get flagged for in promoting violence or whatever. We're not doing that here. We're just going to do a tribute of Casper with the likely hero of the day, the folding chair. So, okay, now before we get, we'll probably already got thing for this, but I hope you enjoyed that. Yeah, it's gonna be a really wonky show this evening, just because I'm like,
there's nothing in there's one news story I'm looking at, and it's in Peru. Did nothing happen in Chicago this week? Before we get to that story, but there was nothing. I've been following shit on social media and Twitter, and the one thing that I have been noticing is everybody up in arms with their fear porn on violence in Chicago. It's like that's all people are talking about. And it's like that's not all that's happening. That's all they're talking about, because I guess there's nothing else going on. But the violence that they're peddling is really not as awful as we're used to. But they have to have something to try to tear down Johnson with. This guy at the Chicago Authoritarian on Twitter, he started listing some crime stats, or in this neighborhood, this many people got killed, and this just represents everything. Brandon Johnson, he doesn't care about the city. This shows the contempt for Brandon Johnson and towards the city of Chicago. And I commented, "Boy, you must be a lot of fun at holiday family dinners." Because can you imagine this guy? All he does, it's like Brandon Johnson lives rent free in his brain. That all he can talk about is like how horrible Brandon Johnson is, when it's like the violence problem has been here forever. It's not. Well, I mean, it's not the exclusive purview of one mayor. It's an ongoing problem that no matter, again, how many cops we put on the street, it's not going to solve the problem unless you get to the root causes that this guy literally mocks all the time because he's that goddamn stupid. He's got like a fucking eggplant for a brain that he we want to stop violence. Yeah, we want people to be held accountable, but put more cops out there. If it's proven anything, we'd be the safest city in the nation, and we're not, because you need to reallocate resources. But I'm just commenting on that because as I'm looking at our show notes and seeing there doesn't seem to have been a whole lot happening locally. That's all I see on social media.
What I do typically is I'll start collecting stories. Sometimes I'll be doing it over the weekend. Other times I'll start out early on Monday, and I'll be posting things in our Slack, and it's like things that I think, well, it might be something worth covering, but I don't know. And sometimes I just feel like, we're just spinning our wheels with some of these stories, and I didn't feel like there was anything worth updating. And so, when you hear things like, a bunch of robberies are happening, people are getting stuck, held up, or their cars are getting stolen, I'm like, okay, tell us something new. Give us a new development there.
Is this what you mean, Art?
Oh, yes. Da, 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 da.
$10 million. Aw.
Yes.
That's his favorite.
He's the international cat of mystery.
He's the international cat of mystery. Aren't you, Mr. Oreo? Professor Oreo. All right. Yeah, Art, I'm glad you gave me that little cue. But yeah, back to Ed. Yeah, you're it's true. It's like we compile show notes, and I didn't really see anything big aside from this other story that we both saw.
Well, and sometimes it's like I'm building a story, but I don't have enough pieces yet. So like things like I like to keep my eye on things like when grocery stores are opening in places where they're usually food deserts, or where they closed previously, and trying to find out if there's any holdups. And like there was one story where I think is it the 40 acres food service or farm, I forget, local farming initiative, I forget what they call themselves. They were trying to open up a brick and mortar on the south side. I think it was the south side, and they were hitting a bunch of red tape with getting proper permits and stuff. And I couldn't find any information on any follow-ups on whether they were resolving that, so I didn't want to report that other than mentioning it right now.
I'm looking at Block Club right now, and yeah, there are a couple of sad stories. I mean, that aren't that common. I'm seeing a hit and run,
and it's follow-ups on Lollapalooza. Right. There was a lost and found at Lollapalooza. Go ahead, Jerry.
No, you can continue.
I don't mean to interrupt you. I'm just like, I don't know if it's a delay.
I'm just trying to contribute to the conversation, and when there's like a pause and I start because I want it to be a conversation, it's like I don't want to be an asshole about it. I mean, I love when we talk, but it's like I never know when to start or stop. I sit silently for a long time. It's like, okay, now I can say something, and then I want to add. So I guess we just have to be a little bit more.
Jerry, feel free to butt in, because I know it's a combination of me having ADD and needing to get words out, and also the intermittent quality of my internet connection, which may cause a slight delay. But
I don't want to step on your lines. It's just when you do pause and I start, because I don't want to talk. I don't want to interrupt you. I just want to interject. As I was talking about Block Club, yeah, I mean, it's basically some tragic, sad stories of, car accidents, people getting hit by other vehicles, positive neighborhood stories, but I'm not seeing Block Club as inundated with the stories that we saw when Lori Lightfoot was in office, with all the corruption and all this. Now, we've got a couple of issues with Brandon Johnson that we're waiting to see how they work out. But generally, it's like, I'm looking at Block Club Chicago was our go-to pretty regularly, and I'm actually feeling relieved that there isn't as much bad stuff happening. Well,
and I try to find other sources too. I mean, there are other newspaper outlets there that sometimes are on my radar and sometimes they're not. Like I'll start reading. I dig into Sun Times a little more now, just because I'm not finding what I want to see on Block Club sometimes, and other times I'm finding other things, like the Austin Weekly News is a publication that just got on my radar. I'm like, well, they're posting interesting stories. I should probably check them out once in a while. Or the Southside Weekly, I'm
looking at stories that probably started getting curated from Saturday through today on Block Club. Neighborhood festivals, goings on around town. Again, the occasional, tragic incident where someone on their scooter got hit by a car. There was a hit and run somewhere. Lollapalooza wrap-ups, but generally it's like there's not a whole lot going on aside from all the fear porn you see on Twitter from the usual suspects. What's his name? William Kelly, and the Chicago Authoritarian, who would have you think that we're living in RoboCop's New Detroit right now.
Yeah, although we see stories from other cities where they keep telling us that, oh, it's pretty cool, these robots that we're using here. There's no nefarious possible purposes for them at all in the things that we're doing here. So accept them. Just wait.
Art is asking which Bond movie was set in Greece. I want to say, was that where, not Living Daylights, but Timothy Dalton's second one, his follow-up, where, no, I think I'm wrong. I was thinking his friend Felix Leiter was honeymooning in Greece, but no, that was like in the Caribbean. I think that's where they got involved with the drug lords. You know what, Art? You've got me stumped. I don't know which Bond movie was set in Greece.
For Your Eyes Only, 1981.
One I did not see. Okay.
I don't remember that one very well. I guess I'll have to do a binge watch of Bond movies again.
Did you see Daniel Craig's last outing?
Did I? Yes, I think I did.
I loved it. I loved it. I remember how many people were so. Can we spoil it? It's been 2 years now?
Oh, where they had someone else was the 007 now, and then he's
not that. Bond died. Bond sacrificed himself, and there were so many people who went out of their minds that Bond had actually evolved and grown and sacrificed himself and learned something over the course of the tenure that Daniel Craig served in as Bond. I thought it was like the bravest, boldest, greatest ending in a Bond movie, because it's like, wow, they actually went there. He's not the same character movie to movie in the Craig films. He actually grew as a character. And that's what I loved about it. Of course, you've got the knuckle draggers who are like, no, Bond is supposed to live forever. Like, dude, it always strikes me, so many people get so wrapped up in what a character was like when they were a kid that they don't understand what's interesting about a movie is subverting some expectations, not all expectations with a character, but seeing a character learn, grow, and evolve. And, normal people don't stay in the same place forever. I was reflecting on, my teen years and how quiet I was and what a big mouth I am now, and how my experiences have kind of molded me into who I am now. And that's the same in life. It's as interesting in movies. So getting back to Bond, which Art brought up, because I do want to bring this all around. I think the Daniel Craig stretch movies were just phenomenal. And they are, the great thing about them too, is like they have a beginning and an ending. You don't have to watch the other Bond movies. But although they are kind of a self-contained story with Daniel Craig's performance as the character and what his iteration of Bond goes through. So.
All right. We've reached the part of the show where it starts to get a little weird. Well, I should say weirder.
Very weird. I'm going to leave the story to you, but I am going to say when I saw this on social media, I'm thinking, okay, we had the UAP hearings, which is like suddenly we're in the Close Encounters movie or Contact. And now this story came up and I'm thinking, where's Arnold Schwarzenegger? So take it away, Ed.
All right, hold on. We need an intro for this.
Okay.
Extraterrestrials, strange phenomena, missing persons, lost continents, myths, and monsters.
We examine these mysteries to determine, are they bullshit or not?
Terrified Peruvian villagers claim they are under attack from 7-foot-tall aliens dubbed face peelers as they plead with authorities to send backup. That's the headline of this story, Jerry.
You know what? As I said, when I saw this on social media and the details you're going to go into, if they're aliens and if they're really a threat to us, all I can do is defer to Arnold Schwarzenegger.
If it bleeds, we can kill it.
Yeah.
Suddenly we were in Close Encounters and Contact, and now we're living in Predator alien world. Now I don't want to disbelieve this story because at this point, like, all bets are off with everything. But I will say, I did see something on social media before the show that said the government officials in Peru had debunked this and said it was not true and that it was like other like rival miners scaring these Peruvians. But I don't know, man. That could be like government disinformation covering up the fact you've got predator aliens that they describe dressed up like the Green Goblin from Spider-Man with big orange eyes. So you read the article. It's crazy, man. Yeah. And they peel people's bodies the way the Predator did in the Arnold Schwarzenegger movie.
Yeah, that's terrifying.
It is very.
Terrified villagers in a rural Peruvian district have claimed they have come under attack by 7-foot-tall aliens they have dubbed Los Pelacaras, or the face peelers. Members of the Iquitu tribe from San Antonio native community have reported mysterious figures in dark-colored hoods attacking the villagers who live in the rural district of Alto Nane, northeast of Lima, Peru. After one such attack, a 15-year-old girl had to be taken to hospital.
See, this isn't rival. Yeah. This isn't rival miners there. Okay, there's something going on. I'm telling you, we sound crazy, Ed, but there's something going on here.
Well, and if not, it's the worst possible promo for that Deadpool Wolverine movie. According to a community leader, Jairo Reategui Davila, say that 10 times fast. The teenager narrowly escaped, but as a result of the struggle, they cut part of her neck. Somebody had a picture on the internet of allegedly of the girl. So, I'm not going to show it here.
Well, here let me also add one other thing, though. You could make the claim that this could be, I don't know, drug cartel members deciding to like scare people in that area by doing the face peeling thing. But I don't know if there's a whole lot of drug cartel activity in that area of Peru. That's something that no one has really shared any more information on, because that's the only other possible option. It could be cartel gang activity, because cartel gangs are not friendly to their rivals. Maybe it's a territorial thing. They want to scare people away from that area. But I'm wondering if there is a cartel drug angle to what's going on in that part of Peru.
According to local media, members of the community are conducting night patrols to protect women, children, and the more vulnerable villagers, and have called on the authorities to send in the military. And they did. They showed up. There's a picture of them. So, question is, are they taking it seriously, or are they making hay out of this? They're not the only one, and who was this? What was this article from? This is from this was the Daily Mail. The U.S. edition of The Sun also reported on this, and they have video. I'm not sure how helpful the video is because, as usual, these types of videos are dark and blurry. But let's take a look.
Este impresionante video captó ese instante en que los habitantes le disparan a los supuestos seres, como ven, en medio de la noche.
Los vecinos dicen que están aterrorizados. Ellos describieron a los entes como gigantes que miden casi 7 pies de altura y que visten trajes que parecen de astronautas. Vamos a escuchar.
Now, I'm gonna guess they have a translation below here. The article says, Alien versus Predator. Cops probe claims villagers being terrorized by Predator-style aliens after girl has neck slashed by mystery beast.
See, and that video reminds me of some of the kind of chaotic aspects of what we saw with the Las Vegas video where that family went in the backyard and they were absolutely terrified. That was not an act. Those people genuinely believed there was something back there. And here you see this video. And clearly these people are convinced there's something otherworldly or inhuman out there. So I don't know.
Yeah, the Sun says in their reporting, they say locals living in the wilds have reported seeing 7-foot armored aliens with large heads and yellow eyes in Peru. And that makes you think of that.
Kathy's in the live chat. She says, Jerry, don't you feel there are two kinds of audiences, movie maker insiders and the rest of us? Yeah, there are. And we can enjoy both kinds of conversations, I think.
Well, makes you wonder if the movie maker insiders are maybe getting some information ahead of the rest of the general public, and then they're making movies out of it, which then, government agencies can use for plausible deniability.
Or they've heard stuff from whistleblowers that ends up making its way into all of the genre films that we've seen like throughout the decades.
So where's the rest of the story here? They claim a girl 15 was attacked by one of the monsters that slashed her neck. Hunters have reportedly fired on the creatures with their guns, which are said to be immune to human weapons. The beings also allegedly can disappear at will. Theories range from the outlandish, such as them being real aliens or creatures from folklore, to the more mundane. It has been suggested the beings could be drones covered with cloth and masks to scare the locals by illegal miners in a Scooby-Doo style scheme.
See, yeah, and that, or is it drug cartel activity? I don't know. Look, also to Kathy's comment here, I mean, I don't know how to take that. It's been a slow news week. And I think we can walk and chew gum at the same time, juggling stuff in our conversations. Art mentioned something and went on a James Bond tangent. Now we're back to this story that's happening in Peru, and it kind of mirrors a movie. So I don't think we're too off the path here.
And it's also
reflecting on what's going on.
And it's also kind of adjacent to that other sighting from Las Vegas that we had earlier.
Yeah.
I'm seeing Jerry has given me. Oh, that's right. I forgot about that.
So I have it queued here, Ed. I don't know if it'll play smoothly, but I did. Look, we got the gist of this story, and in solidarity with Peru, I wanted to share this very, very special video that I'm sure Kathy's going to love. I'll let you play it. It'll probably run smoother on your end.
Okay.
Solidarity with our brothers and sisters in Peru, ladies and gentlemen.
It's using the trees, watching and waiting, killing us off one by one. The chopper is close, but this thing is too fast. We won't make it. It's pointless to run.
The chopper.
No more games.
No more games.
I don't know what it was. The jungle came alive.
Go on.
It happened very fast. Not easy to describe, but you must have wounded it. Unless my eyes deceive, when the big man was killed, its blood was on the leaves.
If it bleeds, we can kill it. She discovered the key. There is proof we can wound it. So repeat after me. If it bleeds, we can kill it.
If it bleeds, we can kill it.
Yeah, now take a stand.
Here now, take a stand.
We can bring down this bastard.
We can bring down this bastard.
If we stick to the plan. If it bleeds, we can kill it.
I would totally go to see this.
I would too.
I'm not kidding.
This has been on the internet for. This has been on the. Did you get a chance to preview this before I shared it with you?
I got just about this far.
Okay, so this has been on the internet for about 10 or 15 years, Ed, and it gets better. It gets better.
Something's out there waiting for us. 2 or 3 men out there at the most. Am I the only one who's awake? I don't believe in goblins and ghosts. Fucking listen, give me a break.
If it bleeds, we can kill it.
Expendable assets.
Yeah, now take a stand.
I won't come, why don't you?
So instead of complaining,
bullshit's not gonna
you should
work.
give us a hand.
I got nothing better to do.
I saw it. God damn it, those eyes, they disappeared.
See, it's totally this is totally the alien that's in Peru right now.
I think so, and the musical arrangement on this is just the best. But yeah, I mean, this is the first thing that came to mind when I read this story today.
And the crazy thing, this is arranged so well, and it's like this is the culture portion of our program tonight. I mean, you know, who thought that you'd tune into Chicago Corner on a Taco Tuesday and get to watch a good part from a musical?
Extra bullet. Yeah, I want to see this and Planet of the Apes musical from The Symptoms. You know what else would make a great musical? I'm surprised no one's thought of it since they're making musicals of every movie. Get ready for Oppenheimer, the musical. I'm telling you, it's coming.
Probably is. Yeah, I'm wondering if they have a soundtrack for this, if there's more. Or if
no,
this
it's
is
just
the
it's basic. No, there are multiple. There's Conan the musical. There's Red Sonja the musical. This particular channel, they specialize in basically satirizing films with musicals, and this is, I'm telling you, this is their best work.
So
Lego Lambs. Yeah.
Big ups to Lego Lambs for producing Predator the musical.
Yeah.
Everyone, I'm subscribing to their channel right freaking now because I want to see more. I'm hitting the thumbs up too.
Yeah.
So yeah. So while you guys are out there, why don't you go hit the thumbs up or the positive button or whatever. If you haven't subscribed to the channel yet, hit the subscribe button. You know, do all the fun stuff, you know, buy some merch. We got Oreo, the Streamcat t-shirts,
and pint glasses.
And pint glasses.
Let's continue the video though, so people don't lose track of what we want.
Yeah, let's continue this wonderful piece of artistic genius.
It cut down my friend and it ran while I
what's happening of what's happening in Peru right now. A reflection of what's happening in Peru.
Yeah, I mean, this is probably really close to what's happening in Peru right now.
Or what will happen.
I saw it, God damn it.
Stop shaving, you don't have a beard.
That thing will come back, and when it does, I'm gonna have me some fun. If it bleeds, I'm gonna have me some fun.
If it bleeds,
if it bleeds, we can kill it.
If it bleeds, we can kill it.
We can pull out the wind.
We can pull out the wind.
Set a trap for the monster.
Set a trap for the monster.
While we still have our skin.
While we still have our skin.
If it bleeds, we can kill
2
it.
or 3 men out there.
I believe it can fall. When you're feeling downhearted, just remember the call. If it bleeds, we can kill it. If it bleeds, I can kill it. Now it's all.
Oh, come on. I think that's enough.
No, it's not enough. Let's play the
more.
whole thing. Let it run out. Well, we've interrupted it enough that it's kind of like screwed up the pace of it. So
I
do
feel
what you
like
want.
we've.
If you don't want to, okay, go. Let's go to the next story then.
All right. I mean, I love this, but I mean, at a certain point, I've gotten the joke. I'm like, okay.
It wasn't about getting the joke so much as enjoying the small piece and the musical arrangement and everything else.
Well, no, I absolutely enjoy the musical arrangement, and like I said, I would totally go to see this, but I'm like, yeah, it's like I felt like that maybe that song should have been 30 seconds shorter.
Now you know how I feel about pizza stories.
Oh, see, he's right though. He's right. I go along with the pizza stories. It's like I talk forever and ever and ever and ever and ever for the pizza
We
story.
examine these mysteries to determine, are they bullshit or not?
I think not. Anyway, Jerry, I wanted to get to the other part of the program, which is this day in history. And we had quite a few things that happened this day in history. For example, on August 8, 1786, the U.S. Congress sorry, my tongue is tied. On August 8th, 1786, the U.S. Congress unanimously chooses the dollar as the monetary unit for the United States of America. And we've been suffering with it ever since. Here's another really weird piece of information. Something that happened on August 8th, 1937. In Hamilton, Ontario, a man who was charged with beating his wife was deemed to be within his legal rights. Canadian Judge William McCleary cited the English common law made in 1879, which stated that a man has a right in certain cases to, quote, chastise or confine his wife, also known as wife beating. That's right. 1937, Canada made wife beating legal. Now, here's the shocker. It wasn't until January 4, 1983, Jerry, that a bill was passed to make aggravated sexual assault illegal in Canada, which basically nullified the Canadian wife-beating law. So you could if you were living in Canada and you were married and you beat your wife, it was legal until 1983. I'm just want to say that's not cool. Not cool, Canada. You okay, Jerry?
I am. I didn't know if I could speak without interrupting. I was going to say, who was it that said, I don't condone wife beating, but I understand it? I think it was Sam Kinison.
Yeah, I think you're right. Yeah. Sam Kinison was a great comedian.
He was.
All right. What else happened on August 8th? Yes. Here's the thing that happened on August 8th.
Good evening. This is the 37th time I have spoken to you from this office, where so many decisions have been made that shape the history of this nation.
This is 1974.
I remember this when I was a kid.
I have done so to discuss with you some matter.
Go ahead, Jerry.
I was aware enough at that age to know what was going on that I've always been fascinated by his presidency, having grown up during it and knowing what a real get out of my cup. What a unique occurrence this was to see a U.S. president resign, especially under the circumstances that he was a crook. So there we go.
Oh, we've got confirmation. We're the reason why Art tokes up.
Are you seeing this?
I do. I see that.
I'm putting it back, and he does not want anybody to watch me right now.
It's like, no. He's like, no. Can't do it.
That I believe affected the national interest. In all the decisions I have made in my public life, I have always tried to do what was best for the nation. Throughout the long and difficult period of Watergate, I have felt it was my duty to persevere, to make every possible effort to complete the term of office to which you elected me. In the past few days, however, it has become evident to me that I no longer have a strong enough political base in the Congress to justify continuing that effort.
Yeah, if only he had seen the stuff that goes on today.
Yeah.
He never would have resigned.
Well, he was a piker compared to what they get away with today. That's the irony of it all.
As long as there was such a base, I felt strongly that it was necessary to see the constitutional process through to its conclusion. That to do otherwise would be unfaithful.
Can you pause it for a moment?
Of that
Of course, leave it to Warren to know the quote properly. Thank you, Warren.
I don't condone wife beating. I understand it. I know what turns Mr. Hand into Mr. Fist.
Thank you, Warren.
Deliberately difficult process and a dangerously destabilizing precedent for the future.
Oh, this was a rehearsal?
But with the disappearance,
yeah, I'm just
he rehearsed his resignation
and recorded it.
Wow, he recorded everything. That's why he had to resign.
Yeah, exactly.
Constitutional purpose has been served, and there is no longer a need for the process to be prolonged. I would have preferred to carry through to the finish.
No kidding.
Whatever the personal agony it would have involved. And my family unanimously urged me to do so. But the interests of the nation must always come before any personal considerations.
He actually took the high road here, which a lot of other politicians wouldn't even dare to do today. And that he recognized that certain things, once the cat was out of the bag, the game was over. A lot of our modern politicians, they don't care about that anymore.
Did you say cat out of the bag?
I did, Jerry. I did say cat out of the bag. I mean, that was wow. I wasn't even trying to do that. How did that happen? It's International Cat Day. It just happens.
As I have had with congressional and other leaders, I have concluded that because of the Watergate matter, I might not have the support of the Congress that I would consider necessary to back the very difficult decisions and carry out the duties of this office in the way the interests of the nation will require.
Okay, that's enough of that. So yeah, he resigned.
That happened
In 1974 on today's date, August 8th. Also on August 8th in 1974, the very first Illinois lottery drawing took place at 10:30 a.m.
Does that article go into detail that the lottery proceeds are supposed to benefit education?
It might. I think there's a Tribune article that's attached here, but I didn't look into that. Let me
But what
see.
they did, but what
Well,
they
actually,
did,
let me see.
But what they did say is that it would be replacing funds that they would take out of the education fund and put elsewhere. So really, it wasn't going to be adding to the education fund to improve schools. It was going to replace money that they decided to put elsewhere. Another big con.
I'm looking at this screenshot to see if it even says anything about proceeds, but it doesn't.
Well, that was the whole grift with the lottery. Said it was supposed to benefit the schools. That's how they passed it through, because there was probably a lot of concern over the fact it was gambling. But it was going to serve a good purpose until people found out, oh, yeah, it's just going to replace money that should be there that they're putting somewhere else. So, no, it's just to like make money off of people's gambling addictions.
Just a miscellaneous slush fund, essentially.
Yeah.
So that was, so that was 1974. So that was jam-packed. And then, there's more. There's more things that happened today, Jerry. As soon as I can figure out which buttons to press over here. Yes, that's the one. That's the one I want. Oh, well, it's going to play an ad first, so I'm going to go over to this tab. August 8th, 1988. Was supposed to be the first Cubs official game under the lights. And hang on a second here. And it was a pretty big occasion. Check this out.
Hello again, everybody. Harry Carey at Wrigley Field on this.
Oh, Harry Carey.
8/8/88. That's the date. And this bud's for you, Bill Murray.
Not anymore.
Not anymore.
That bud ain't for you anymore. It's for Dylan Mulvaney. Just imagine, Harry Carey would probably be rolling over in his grave right now at what they did to his beloved Bud Light, as far as the company just completely destroying their brand. Anyway, it's funny how far we've come, isn't it?
Yeah.
Ironic.
Dying under these lights until you handed me this thing. It's such a pleasure to see you, especially on a noteworthy event like this one.
Well, I don't know how I feel about night baseball. It's great in the minor leagues, but it's someplace else to go in town besides your restaurant, which is a good thing.
How's your mother, by the way?
My mother is, she's
How's
awesome.
your mother?
It's pretty, but she's doing really
How's
well.
your mother, Ed?
That bit you put on when I was sick and you were on and did such a great job. The bit you done about your mother, among other things, I think it should be a special cassette. You ought to sell about 10 million of them.
Well, I've got 200,000 of my own, which I'm willing to unload for some sort of a price. But my mother really wants too big a percentage, so I'm keeping them in the garage right now at home.
And have you thought about broadcasting baseball as something after you're tired of being a great?
He's asking Bill Murray if he ever thought about being a sports broadcaster, like Harry's thinking that his acting days are over. I thought that was funny.
Great star, movie, stage, television, screen, whatever you have.
I think when I completely lose my mind here, I'm going to step right up into your spot here in the booth.
There's no doubt about you being a true Cub fan, is there?
Well, I went with the blue and white tonight, figuring I could look like the ground crew in case I got thrown out. I could get back in. It's really beautiful. It's the most beautiful park in the world, and it's pretty under the lights too. That's what I was hoping.
Tell me.
That's all there's. There's more, but I didn't want to play the whole rest of that. But we had an article from 2013 from Al Yellen, who said the Cubs wanted to begin the night game era at Wrigley Field on 8/8/88. Mother Nature, though, had other ideas. He says, today I'm going to tell you the story of a game that officially never happened. After many years of discussion, debate, and city ordinances limiting the number of games that could be played, I'm just going to flip over here so you can look at these guys. The Cubs installed lights to play night games at Wrigley Field beginning in 1988. The summer of 1988 was one of the hottest and driest in Chicago history. The 47 days that year with a temperature of 90 degrees or more remains the record for such things. I'm not so sure anymore, considering the way current weather is. It says the sticky summer of 2012 missed tying by 1 day. The Cubs finished construction of the lights in July, had a charity event on those lights later that month, and were permitted by city ordinance 8 night games for the rest of 1988, and then 18 per year through 2002. Not sure how many they give them now. Maybe somebody can Google that. First of those was a game originally scheduled for 3:05 p.m. Monday, August 8th versus the Phillies. Lee Elia was, I believe, the coach for the Phillies at that time. Some of you may remember when Lee Elia was the coach for the Cubs and had a very famous rant. But that's for a story for another time. August 8 dawned, hot and humid. The temperature that day would reach 99 degrees. Capacity crowd gathered at Wrigley Field for pregame hoopla. All the while, radars began showing a cluster of thunderstorms beginning to form in northwest Illinois, headed for Chicago.
Well, you can see the sky behind him looks like it's storm weather.
Yeah.
And I don't think that's just the video quality. It looks like it's one of those gray-green storm nights.
Yeah, and then I have I have video home. A fan took some home video that day at the ballpark, and this is when you didn't. This is before cell phone videos. This is when, if you wanted to get video inside a ballpark, you had to bring your little video camcorder. So, like 1988. This is low def 1988. And it looked something like this.
Now it's not Wrigleyville anymore. It's Rickettsville.
No, is it raining? I think it's raining. Down there.
And you can see he pans the whole ballpark. You can see how much it's changed out in the outfield. Like the Torco sign is out in right field. All this. I mean, none of the video boards that you know today are there.
It still had some semblance of neighborhood baseball. Now it's big business, like the Bears. Cellular. What is it called now down on the south side? Cellular One Field.
Was it Cellular One, US Cellular something? I don't know.
Cellular Field. Now it's something. It used to be Comiskey Park, Sox Park. Now everything is branded with these goddamn companies who make it impossible for anybody to afford going to a game.
Yeah, and now you see, like the wind is blowing the flags. He mentioned that it looked like it was raining earlier, but just in a moment you're going to see.
I thought that was John Lovitz.
No.
It's kind of a windbreak here. Brother, what do you think?
What's she doing with him?
There's the famous club.
So this is Gary Gassel's video.
Again, here's the view.
And so I'm guessing it's the Gassel family.
Yeah, Warren, you're absolutely right. This was 35 years ago. How much were tickets back then? You need to take out a second order.
I don't think they were as much back then. In fact, I have a sneaking suspicion I was out in the bleachers during this game.
Dude, it was probably like $12 or $15 to go to a baseball game. Almost probably around the same amount of money as a movie ticket today.
Although it was probably a premium for the first night game. Our family used to go to a lot of Cubs games back in the late 80s, and so I have a memory of 8888, and I don't know if it was from watching WGN TV or if I was actually there, but I was at either the 88 or the 89 game, which was actually the official game under the lights, because this one got rained out.
Well, I can only say to Warren, I remember movie tickets were around $7, and I think sports events were priced more. So I'm going to guess tickets were probably around $12 for a ball game back then, which was still affordable.
She said, lights today, a dome tomorrow.
Ugh. Thank God that didn't come true.
Yeah.
This is fantastic, ladies and gentlemen.
The Cubs do have one of the best ground crews in Major League Baseball. They get those tarps out really fast.
Warren, your humor is well appreciated tonight.
But you are here. But we are here. You are here. What's up? Don't grab my arm, Judy. Jim, get in there, Jim.
So the Gassel family is immortalized on Chicago Corner this evening.
Who are the Gassel family?
They're the ones that took this video.
No, I know that, but were they of any prominence at that time?
I don't know. Maybe we'll look it up and find out what they're doing today.
So I didn't know if they were like movers and shakers in the city, which is why their name was on the video here.
Well, if I had to guess, they're in the mid 80s and they're taking camcorder video at a Cubs game. They're probably middle to upper middle class. So I mean, could just typical Chicago area family going to a Cubs game, and it just happened to be on the for what was supposed to be the first game under the lights. Now, one thing some people may not know is the Cubs were always intended to have lights at Wrigley Field, but I believe they were never installed during, was it World War I? Something like that. And then they never installed them, and then they just kept playing day baseball until someone decided, you know what, why don't we put some lights in here so we can get more primetime television coverage? And the rest is history. I don't know if I like the night games. You know, I prefer the day games. I don't like getting sunburned, but I like sitting out in the bleachers. So, you know, on a good summer night, a night game might not be so bad unless the lights are attracting all the bugs. So once again, ladies and gentlemen, if you're just joining us, it's International Cat Day.
As if you couldn't tell. All right.
So yeah, so August 8, so that was August 8, 1988. And I did have another video from Larry Hawley from WGN, but you guys can watch that another time. The final story for this evening, and then we can decide on whether we want to end the show early or just yap about anything and talk to you guys in the chat, because that's always cool. On this day, 19 years ago today, August 8, 2004. Hold on a second. Did I hit the wrong button there? I hit the wrong button. Here it is. August 8, 2004. Never forget the day.
Oh, Jesus.
That the Dave Matthews tour bus dumped 800 pounds of poop on people taking a Chicago River cruise 19 years ago today.
It was a magic moment in their lives.
It was.
To be pooped on by potentially David Matthews and members of his band.
Chicagoans continue to remember that infamous day almost 2 decades later, posting it on it about. Sorry,
posting about it on social media.
Things. Yes, thank you, Jerry. My word thingies not function good. Okay.
Here we go. Yep, it was a shitty band in more ways than one. Thanks, Warren.
Yes.
Hey, Warren, share with everybody in the chat. You've got your big 69th episode of Secret Show coming up, I think, and not this Saturday, but in 2 weeks. And I think we might be joining you if I read that invitation the other night correctly. So looking forward to that.
Yeah. Oh, I think the rule was that one of us had to have our camera upside down. Is that how that works, Warren?
I don't know if
we'll have to figure that one out. Anyway, so here, it was the afternoon of August 8th, 2004. When people on an architectural boat cruise traveling along the Chicago River got an unwelcome surprise while passing under the Kinsey Street Bridge.
I can smell it now.
The Dave Matthews tour bus was driving across the bridge at the same time, and someone on board, the bus driver, dude. It was the bus driver.
Hit the poopy
dumped 800 pounds of human waste on top of the open air cruise's passengers.
Oof, triggered the booby hatch.
A Chicago Tribune reporter.
Poopy hatch.
Yes, a Chicago Tribune reporter was among the passengers hit with human waste, and the newspaper described the substance excreted by the tour bus as a, quote, foul liquid substance and horrific.
You got to say that in an authentic Bill Curtis voice.
Authentic. Okay, let me do that.
A little bit more authentic. You were kind of doing Bill.
Bill Curtis, take two.
Take two.
Dave Matthews, Bill Curtis story, take two. Action. A Chicago Tribune reporter was among the passengers hit with human waste, and the newspaper described the substance excreted by the tour bus as a, quote, foul liquid substance and, quote, horrific.
There was no irony left on the fact that the article literally used the word excreted in its description of what happened.
I'm Bill Curtis, and I excreted this story for all to hear.
Thank you, Bill.
The jam band's tour bus driver admitted to the dumping and reportedly paid a fine, served 1.5 years probation, and performed community service. The band, known for huge outdoor shows, a string of hits, and environmental activism, later donated $50,000 to the Chicago Park District to begin the healing process, according to reports.
The healing. How do you heal from the? I'm sure the people who were on that boat are still in therapy for post-traumatic stress.
Yeah.
So would they say did it? It was the bus driver.
It had to be.
What an asshole.
Yeah. So in 2015, a sign was posted at the Kinsey Street Bridge.
You know, that's
asking people to remember the infamous incident.
Noted tourist landmark in the city of Chicago. I wonder if that sign is still there.
Oh, it gets better.
Oh, does it?
In August 2004, at this very location, a DMB tour bus dumped 800 pounds of poo on some people. Hashtag never forget. Hashtag always remember.
800 pounds.
No, sir. No, sir. No, sir. You will stop speaking. You will stop speaking. You're full of crap. And that's the nicest thing that I can say.
And it gets better like this. Riot Fest posted this year, today. In honor of the events of August 8th, 2004, the Riot Fest Historical Society has dedicated a plaque on the Kinsey Street Bridge.
I wonder if that's really a high quality plaque, or if that's just like a painted piece of wood that is painted to look like it's a special plaque, and if it will stay there, or if it will get pulled down.
Yes, has dedicated a plaque on the Kinsey Street Bridge to remember those we lost during the Dave Matthews Band incident. Hashtag never forget.
I hope that's left there.
It's only on there with zip ties, so odds are somebody already ripped it off and took it home. I would love to have a copy of that, but still.
I beg your pardon. What did you say?
So yeah, that's pretty cool. That's awesome.
All right.
What else? Is there more? There's just more stuff in the article. Like there's some other people are tweeting photos. You know, someone's got a picture which doesn't want to load here. Hold on. This is Yeah, shield your eyes.
That's a real picture of it.
Yeah, that's
no. Come on,
God.
No, that would fill the. That's not. That's a Photoshop.
Oh my
because
God.
That would fill the bus. That's
You think
somebody
it's a Photoshop?
It's come on, dude. 800 pounds from a bus that looks like someone photoshopped a cow manure like pile onto the top of the boat.
Oh.
No, people would have died.
Or
at that.
Ray Lopez's bowl of oatmeal.
It wasn't oatmeal.
And then Hairbrained Ink, of course, has this T-shirt design.
That's not oatmeal.
Oh, hold on. Where did my... Oh, we lost my button here. Hold on a second. Yeah, I wish I'd come up with that design. That wasn't me. Yeah.
Now, if they were smart, they would have said Dave Matthews Band, August 8th, 2004, shittiest band in the world. But they missed their opportunity there.
Yeah.
Commemorating the shittiest band in the world, Dave Matthews and the date. That's how I would have branded the T-shirt.
And we'll have to do that next year. Put that in the merch store for maybe a couple weeks prior, so people can order the shirts ahead of time.
No one died that day, but many wish that they had.
Yes. All right. I think that's all the stuff I had. That's all the stuff I had on the show notes. I don't know if any of you guys in the live chat want to talk about anything specific or any other stories that may have come on your radar, but I'm open to that. We're just hanging out here on the live stream.
Every time he does this, it looks like I've got a Hitler mustache.
Yes. I think he's planning that.
Yeah, he is. Don't you give me the stink eye. Ooh, he's staring me down.
Like it's my day. I can do what I want.
It's always his day. I've told you. Every day is cat day. We don't own them, they own us.
Trying to think if there was another
All right,
thing.
no feedback from the live chat. So I think that's our show.
Yeah, I think that's probably it. Wonder if there's anything else we should play. Nah, we're
That's
good.
a good point. That's a good point. Oreo sees Jerry staring at the camera, probably thinks the camera's Jerry's friend, so he shows some love to it. Or he's jealous and he wants my attention instead of me giving the attention to the camera. I think it might have more to do with that.
Oh, that could be what it is.
Oh yeah, Art's got some news, although I don't want to barrage people with more movie entertainment news. William Friedkin passed this week.
That was
French Connection, Live and Die in LA, The Exorcist.
That's right.
Billy Friedkin.
Oh yeah, I had I did have some stuff in the Slack for that. There was a good quote from him. Let me see if I can find that and pull that up there. If I have it. The William Friedkin quote. Which
got 3 viewers over on Rockfin. Thank you to our Rockfin viewers. No comments.
Oh, here it is. Here it is. I got it. So William Friedkin apparently was a pretty fun guy to interview.
Oh, was you being sarcastic? Because I heard he was kind of a dick to people.
Yeah, well, that's
as it was. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Very opinionated, but I think in a good way.
I think so too.
This comes from JLA Libs on Twitter, Justin La Liberty. There will never be another William Friedkin. He was the definition of an iconoclast, told it like it was, and was decidedly stubborn down to the bitter end. He leaves behind a career of great films, even a few bona fide masterpieces, but also a lot of perfect interviews. Rest in peace. And here, this is great because he starts saying, We don't know how long these DVDs or Blu-rays will last. MovieWeb asks him, according to Oliver Stone, they are only supposed to last 10 years. William Friedkin says, how the fuck does he know? MovieWeb says, I don't know, but I think that's pretty funny. Seriously, 10 years is what he said. William Friedkin says, he is full of shit. Has anyone been able to prove that yet? Where's the proof? I have DVDs that are 10 years old now. I have DVDs from 1999 or 98. They still work just fine. How does he know they last 10 years? MovieWeb says, I think at the time he said that, he didn't want people to buy Alexander on DVD. William Friedkin says, fuck him and Alexander.
Alexander did suck. That was one of Oliver Stone. I can't even imagine I'm saying there was a worst Oliver Stone film, because he's generally like 99.9% of the time a master filmmaker. But yeah, Alexander, when I saw it, it was dog shit. Can only imagine what a rewatch would be like now.
Yeah, so that was a tweet I had seen when we heard about William Friedkin dying, and I had posted in the Slack at the time. And so these are the types of things I'm accumulating during the week, and some of them make it into the show. Some of them I either forget about, or enough time has passed that things don't seem timely enough anymore, or they just slip my mind. Things like on Monday, I heard that the jury selection is underway in the perjury trial of the ex-Madigan Chief of Staff, Tim Mapes. And so he's cooperating, so he's probably going to throw Madigan under the bus. Will that result in Madigan getting convicted before he passes? We don't know. No. Probably not.
Wait. Magic 8 Ball says highly unlikely.
Oh, here's something that I think we should watch. This is an interesting hold on. Stand by.
What Art is sharing? There's a movie called Sorcerer that was the grittiest movie ever made, and nobody saw it. You're right, Art. I've bought it on Vudu, and I haven't even watched it yet. And I've had it for like a couple months because Roy Scheider's in it. I was curious to watch it. But
no, that
about Jerry. Go ahead, Ed.
But that wasn't. Go ahead and tell me what Kathy says.
No. Finish your thought.
I was just setting up a video I saw earlier, and there was a little thing we can talk about for a minute, because I saw this on News Nation's YouTube channel.
The ability to pay for anything, anywhere, could be in the palm of your hand, literally. Amazon rolling out its new palm paying technology to hundreds of Whole Foods stores.
This is not. Pause it. I'm not big on Bible prophecy, but this is sign of the beast type stuff. Okay.
But yeah, paying for stuff with biometrics is a terrible
chip in your hand. Because what if they decide, we don't like what you said on social media? You go to the store and suddenly your biochip is not connected to your bank account. You're fucked.
This isn't even putting a chip in your hand. This is they're just scanning your hand. Like,
with what, a tattoo? There has to be.
It checks your fingerprints.
Oh, okay. And
this is
like science fiction movie stuff.
Well, I mean, a lot of people have little biometric scanners on their phones to unlock their phone, but this is a step further, because you're linking your bank account to your handprint.
So same theory, and if somebody wants to shut you down, if you dissent with the government, or somebody in power doesn't like the fact you're a troublemaker and your palm print is connected to your banking, boom, you can have nothing. That's why everybody's against, and I don't blame them, the whole concept of a cashless society. Everybody relying on credit and this kind of bullshit.
Yeah, but even on a more local level, Jerry, say you're a parent and you've linked your bank account to your handprint, and your kids are dragging you all over the grocery store, and you aren't keeping tabs of what your kids are currently doing, and all of a sudden, your kid grabs your hand and says, mommy, come with me. And they grab your hand and swipe it over the scanner, where they have already rung up several $100s worth of candy and chips.
Well, it is better than your kid cutting your hand off and doing it without you.
Yeah, don't give them ideas, though.
Extra Bullet says Bob Lazar said they had hand scanners back in the 70s. Yeah, you have to wonder, Warren, if this technology has been reverse engineered from what purportedly has been recovered, as claimed in the UAP hearings a couple weeks back.
Yeah, well, and this isn't really new. It's just that it's a new way of they're using biometric hand scanners, because we know that super rich people are using these as security panels for giant safes and stuff like that, and banks are probably doing that stuff too. We've seen that technology in movies.
There's a value to using it for your own personal security, but the value ends when they want to link it to your bank account. That's a no-no. That's Pandora. That's giving somebody complete. I mean, they've already got control over knowing where you are, what you're doing, probably listening to you with one of these things. Remember, everybody wanted their privacy, and now they have Alexa or Siri in their homes to make their lives easier. That's probably sending.
They're listening all the time.
Yeah, they're listening all the time. And when you consider the fact that what's his name, Bezos has got a contract with the national. He sits on a panel with the National Security Council. He's got to deal with the Pentagon. You know where Alexa is sending all the data and recorded information that it's collecting.
Yeah, Warren's right. He says new tech that comes out today, the military already had it for like 10 years.
Kathy is sharing some news. The migrants are at the Armory in Edgewater. They're all on the sidewalks because there are no benches. How about some activities for them? I don't know, Kathy. I was reading today that they're breaking down that we're spending $7,000 on each migrant. I don't know if that's weekly or monthly. I'm not sure what that amount breaks down to, but it's however long a duration that breaks down to. It's a lot more money than they put towards homeless people, giving them activities or places to stay or health coverage or health care. So I'm not going to come down on the migrants, but I am starting to get a little concerned, Ed, with how much money's being spent, how much attention's being given, and homeless people and people in these neighborhoods have been begging for services for decades, have been ignored and will continue to be ignored. So
yeah, the whole situation is annoying and frustrating because all these people need help.
Yeah, they do.
And even though
I'm sorry that they're sitting on the sidewalks and there are no benches, but I mean that was a problem for homeless people in Chicago. Living under bridges and tents that they would get rousted and have all their belongings thrown out, as they did with the migrants. What was it, 2 weeks ago, when they cleared them out of the police station? So I don't know, Kathy. I mean, I feel bad to a certain degree, but I think that other priorities and other abandoned, disadvantaged people are being completely overlooked because this is the only focus right now. And I'm starting to understand why people are getting resentful of that. It's not the migrants' fault. It's the fault of people who are running things that aren't actually giving equal attention to everybody that needs the help.
Shifting back to the biometrics for a minute, Kathy says she got $32.32 from Zoom for breach of privacy. I'm guessing that has to do with the biometric laws that we have in the state of Illinois. We have a number of those settlements for a whole bunch of different social media outlets. I know Facebook sent me a check recently. I got one from Google a little while ago.
There's another one coming from Google too. I think that there was another. I got a notification. I think it was like sometime at the end of this month is the deadline for another lawsuit.
Yeah, there's a website. What the hell was it called? Was it classaction.org or something?
Just Google biometric lawsuits and you'll probably have 2 or 3 sites that pop up.
Yeah. So
anyone that's in a shelter is actually dying of the confinement of being stuck in one place for a long time.
I actually don't mind so much. But I'm a bit of an introvert most times. So I'm like, I like to be in crowds and go out and do things, but I need decompression and me time.
But these people in confinement that Art is talking about are not by themselves enjoying their
solitude. I understand. They're not. They're alone in a group, which can be really tough too. Yeah, I wish there was a solution other than, telling all the old people who are more likely to win the lottery and care about these things to buy a Mega Millions ticket right now, because it's what, $1.5 billion, isn't
I
it?
don't know. I don't pay attention to lottery. So
I believe it's like the largest lottery ever right now.
And you'll never win it. So,
well, I'll never win it because I'm
None
not
of
in
us-
the demographic that wins.
well,
I keep telling Kathy, I'm like, Kathy, I mean, people who are like in your age bracket, give or take 10 years, are usually the ones that win these giant lotteries. I said, so it might be worth that $3 or whatever to win $1.5 billion. $1.58 billion for
what are
2
lottery
nights.
$3?
With the mega ball or whatever, it's $3. I think it's $2 if you just buy the regular ticket.
With a $450 vet bill for blood tests and other things for my senior cat, a $411 radiator in my Jeep that needed to be replaced, that was only 5 years old. I can't even entertain the thought of buying a lottery ticket right now, along with my medical expenses from my hospital stay. So
yeah, so, but it might be easier for us to buy a winning lottery ticket if you become a Patreon supporter. I'm just kidding. We would use this to actually pay for all the expenses that we have here to run this channel. And so that Jerry isn't stuck having to figure out how to pay for it every month while we try to figure out how to pay him back for our share of the channel.
As I was this morning when my bank called me and said, your Chicago Corner account is overdrawn right now. Could you please put money in by 10 o'clock so you don't get, fees? And I said, all right. And I went online and I saw that we were overdrawn by $11 because Google Ads decided to remove money to hit us to deduct for our Google Ads. But the bank had already applied a $30 overdraft fee. So the $50 I transferred was to pay the bank the $30 and the $11 that Google pulled out. Well, we're waiting until the 12th of the month for Google to give us our tip revenue and ad revenue. Because, they're not going to give it to us on the 1st. They got to wait on everybody's money to wait to all the money of everybody who's earned money on Google. They can earn interest on it till they're ready to give it to you on the 12th. But God damn it, man. The first week of the month comes, they don't waste any time taking the fucking $10 out of your account. So yeah, we're down another $40. I've had it with the expenses for this thing, but whatever.
So thank you to everyone who's currently supporting this channel. It would be a whole lot worse without you. And if you would like to support us and be a Patreon supporter, head to patreon.com/Chicago Corner. If you donate at least $5 a month, you have the opportunity to become a guest on this program.
Let me share something else while we're talking about Google, Ed. Remember when I tipped our channel $100 to try to get to the $100 threshold so we could cash out the $30 that was in there?
Mm-hmm.
Well, Google took $30. What was it? Google took $25 of the $100 that I put in there. So there was
I told you that was going to happen.
I know, but you know what? That $70 that I tipped our channel over a month ago, it still hasn't posted in our AdSense.
What?
And now it's not
Why?
even. And now it's because they take their fucking goddamn time sitting on everybody's revenue so they can earn the interest until they're goddamn ready to pass it along to you. I'm looking at a $45 balance in our Google AdSense right now, and I'm like, where's the $75 that should have transferred over from over a month ago? So I'm just
that's annoying. I keep reminding myself I want to add some more reactionary clips, and since we're talking about this thing, I thought it would be an interesting video clip to play if I can get this thing up here.
Sorry, I just lost it, but it's like it never ends.
I know it sucks, but
they take your money, but they don't give you your money on time, and they're the ones that earn the interest, which is why chumps like you and me put our money in the stock market, because that's where you're supposed to grow your wealth. That's what we were told. Oh, no. We're not going to let you grow your wealth there either, because we're going to
Yeah.
control all the bells and whistles and
Oh
manipulate
my
the market price.
Yeah, I mean, we could talk another 20 minutes on AMC if you wanted to.
No,
but
I
want-
don't. I'll blow my brains out if we talk about what we saw today.
Yeah.
Highest earnings in their history, and the stock went down. It's under $5, and we have a CEO who is like a fucking wet blanket because he's trying to drive the price down. So
oh my
his-
god!
so his hedge fund
Did you hear
buddies-
that earnings call?
Yes, Mr. Wet Blanket. So he wants the price to go down so that it can go down low enough that his friends in Wall Street who shorted his company can cover their shorts cheap, while he's begging the rest of us to keep investing in the company, because even though they've reached their highest earnings in history, he's worried about bankruptcy in 2 years, and we need to keep supporting the company so he can continue to give himself multi-million-dollar bonuses, sell the stock he was given to the rest of us, and enrich his board while he's trying to find an easy out for the short sellers who tried to destroy his company. Dude, this guy Aaron, he's got to go. Adam Aaron and Ken Griffin are the reasons guillotines were invented, Ed.
Yeah, Adam Aaron goes into the earnings call that was earlier today, and he says, "Oh, I know a lot of you guys don't want me to talk about this. Then don't."
No, but he's got to do that though. You know why, Ed? For those in the audience who haven't followed this,
talk about his fake liquidity problem.
There's a lawsuit that was filed against this company by shareholders who are rightfully pissed off that this stock has been manipulated, and the judge in the lawsuit is seeing through this company, and she's not allowing them to do their reverse stock split, which would dilute the price and allow shorts to cover. She's not letting them do that. And they thought that they were going to have the time to pimp this story, that they were going to be in big trouble. And suddenly, record earnings. It completely contradicts their narrative. Yeah. That's why Adam Aaron was on this call today, like Chicken Little, talking about 2 years down the line, all the liquidity problems that they're facing. It's like, dude, you're full of shit. Highest earnings in your company's history right now. Stop this bullshit so you can help your friends bail out of trying to destroy your company.
He literally said like they were doing 36% better than before the lockdown, and which was super great news. Oh, but we blah 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 our debt. I'm like, no, dude, just pay off the debt. Shut up about it and be happy that you've had that over $1 billion taken in on Barbie. And the best record weekends ever.
And keep in mind, the revenue for Barbie and Oppenheimer isn't Q2, which they reported today. Third quarter is going to be even better than this quarter that made history today.
Yeah,
so he's
what? Second quarter ended in June?
His complete narrative of the company looking at disaster is either bullshit. No, it is bullshit.
It is.
Because there's no way that, it's bullshit, but he wants people to think it's not. So they'll keep investing in the company. I'm telling you, Ed, so that he can keep giving himself. What CEO gives himself bonuses if their company's facing all of these liquidity problems, right?
But
you forego your bonuses and let your company keep the money so you can keep it to stay afloat. But AMC it's his piggy bank. It's his piggy bank. It's the board's piggy bank. Retail investors saved that fucking company, and they feel entitled to continuing to pick the pockets of their retail investors who put their money into the stock market, because you can't earn interest at a normal rate in a bank. I mean, it just goes to the whole stock market Ponzi scheme that we've talked about for often.
I'm calling bullshit on his liquidity problems. He's got this thing on his brain where it's like, we're not out of the woods yet. Yes, we freaking are. We're out of the woods. We're out.
They're not burning cash anymore like they were talking about in the first part of the year. They're $9 million ahead is what I understand, if I remember reading the figures right.
And here's another thing that was bugging me is that he came out with the AMC credit card, right? You would think he would have a conversation with that bank that's managing the card and say, hey, how about you guys help me refinance our existing level of debt so we can pay it down faster? Did that freaking happen? I don't think so.
Because they just want to keep using the company as a piggy bank and trying to figure out an exit for their friends on Wall Street who there's no escape. They're going to keep kicking the can down the road. And of course, our SEC and our Department of Justice isn't doing a goddamn thing, because they either know if they do something, it's going to help. It's going to have an impact on the entire economy. Because if they margin call these banks that are shorting the stock that is got 3 times the shares out there that are counterfeit against what actually exists, it's going to melt down the rest of the economy if they enforce the rules the way they're supposed to. But they've been letting these assholes get away with breaking the rules forever. So if they start enforcing them now, everything's going to fall apart. And what did we do? We didn't do anything wrong. We invested in a company knowing, well, at some point they got to enforce the law. These Wall Street companies, these hedge funds, they're going to have to cover their shorts. That's the law. We're 30 days on the threshold list where they should have started margin calling these assholes, and they're not doing it.
And
it's crime in broad daylight.
And to put a button on this mini rant about AMC stock, I give you our representative from Goodfellas, Paulie.
This is bad. Fuck you, pay me. Oh, you had a fire? Fuck you, pay me. Place got hit by lightning, huh? Fuck you, pay me. What if I get one of those TVs? No, I'll be so he didn't break it all right. Also, Paulie could do anything, especially run up bills on the joint's credit.
That's what we need to do. We need to run up bills on AMC's credit if they're not going to pay us.
I want to share something. So, Adam Aron, the CEO of AMC, went on Twitter today and was thanking all of the people who sent him nice letters about what a great CEO he's been. And he also happened to mention how he knows there are a lot of people that are unhappy with him, but he really appreciated the letter that came from the 1,200 shareholders who appreciated his efforts as CEO. Now, I'm looking for the video clip that I posted in that Twitter thread where he shared everybody. So I'm searching for it right now. Ed, keep talking until I find it to share with you.
Oh, okay. Well, I just wanted to, I can't remember what the hell I was talking about. Oh, yeah. F you, pay me. Kathy is asking where Oreo is right now. He's right there. Okay. He's just waiting to pop up. He'll be popping up any moment now.
Okay, I found the link. I'm going to share it with you because it will play back better on your own. But in that thread that Adam Aron shared to thank the 1,200 people who he's gaslit, I wrote to him. And then there are shareholders like me who prefer that you respond to our concerns this way. You enjoy a good movie clip, don't you, Mr. Aron? And this is the clip that I sent him.
Want something to drink? Charlie, you want a refill?
Yeah, it'll be great. No, I don't want to. Hey, Mr. Clark, how you doing? Good. I've been trying to reach you.
Can you get it a little louder?
President. Well, I've been busy. Yeah, at least you could do is return my phone calls, though.
Listen, Nikki, we talked about this, and I explained to you that there was the possibility you might have to take some kind of loss.
Yeah.
It's not playing loud. Why? I don't know.
I don't know.
What are you gonna do? Strong arm me?
Hold on. Let me reload this thing and see if I can get it louder.
I found another link, so let me see if this other link maybe plays back louder. I'll send it to you in the. I found a second one on YouTube. Let me send you this one, Ed, because it's definitely worth sharing.
Yeah, refill will be great. No, I don't want to. Hey, Mr. Clark, how you doing? Good.
Come on.
I can't get it any louder.
Okay, I just sent you the alternate version.
Return my phone calls, though.
Listen,
See if the alternate I sent you is louder.
In Las Vegas for 30 years.
There we go.
It's a little better.
Want something to drink? Charlie, you want a refill?
Yeah, refill will be great. No, I don't want to. Hey, Mr. Clark, how you doing? Good. I've been trying to reach you. You're tougher to get than the president.
Well, I've been busy.
Yeah, at least you could do is return my phone calls, though.
Listen, Nikki, we talked about this, and I explained to you that there was the possibility you might have to take some kind of loss.
Yeah. I think I want my money back.
What are you gonna do? Strong arm me?
You know, I think that you got the wrong impression about me. I think in all fairness, I should explain to you exactly what it is that I do. For instance, tomorrow morning, I'll get up nice and early, take a walk down over to the bank and
AMC.
Walk in and see. And if you don't have my money for me, I'll crack your fucking head wide open in front of everybody in the bank. And just about the time that I'm coming out of jail, hopefully, you'll be coming out of your coma. And guess what? I'll split your fucking head open again. Because I'm fucking stupid. I don't give a fuck about jail. That's my business.
That's
Let it play.
cool.
Let it play.
Okay.
That's what I do. And we know what you do, don't we, Charlie? You fuck people out of money and get away with it. Hey, you fat Irish prick, you put my fucking money to sleep. You go get my money or I'll put your fucking brain to sleep.
Sam.
Never mind, fucking Sam, this is personal. I'll be there in the morning. You can fucking try me, fatso. You fucking try me.
Wow.
Think you got the point?
What are you doing?
That's the message that more shareholders should be sending to Adam Aaron and AMC, is what I think.
Yeah, but I don't. This is metaphorical. This is comedy. We are not making threats at
No, I'm not
anyone
making
in
threats.
AMC.
I said this is what should happen. Not well. I guess I'm not saying I would do it. I mean,
We're not,
metaphorically,
we're not a call to action. It's just in a perfect world, this would happen.
you know, it's like what Sam Kinison said about, you know, wife beating. I don't condone it, but
I understand it.
But I understand it. Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't condone anybody giving Adam Aaron a beating, but I'd understand it. So we brought that full circle.
See, I like how that worked. Well, good. All right, what are we at? 9:30. That's 2 hours. That's pretty good.
Yeah, that's pretty good.
Almost 2 hours because you know how we are. But okay, Kathy, did you hear it the second time? Did that work for you?
I mean, that's a great clip to use against anybody who screwed you over, and you know it, and they think they're going to get away with it. Unfortunately, they usually do.
Sandusty and Treasure say meow on International Cat Day. Those must be Kathy's cats.
Ah, meow.
Yeah, confirmed. So I'm hoping you got a little bit out of what we brought for you this evening. We had a little bit of information. We had a little bit of complaining. We had a little bit of fun. We played some video. We learned some things. We laughed. We loved. We showed cats.
Did you hear that? He agreed.
It's true.
And we still have 2 people watching on Rockfin. I don't know why, but we appreciate it.
Yeah, I don't know why either. But thank you for watching. Because, I mean, you know, some days it's just one of those Tuesdays. And other days,
it's Friday.
It's Friday. And, yeah, so tune in again on Friday. Or it won't be International Cat Day, but it'll always be Oreo the Stream Cat Day.
That's right.
And Jerry will be running the show, preferably between the lines and not off into the ditch like I often do. Oh, by the way, you know, the other thing I do when I'm doing research is every once in a while I try to see what happened to the chicken wing lady. And sadly, there's still no update. We don't know if she's in prison.
You really have followed up, and there's no news since explaining anything there. See, that's a dereliction of journalism. They talked about what happened, and then nobody follows up to explain what was going on there, or what the explanation was for the wings, the embezzlement, where the money went.
Yeah, so I mean the only updated information I managed to get, which was probably the latest thing, was that it was very likely part of an international money laundering wing with frozen chicken wings, which was insane and not where we expected that story to go.
Well, because we found another story similar where they were using food and money from civic money, government money that's supposed to go towards buying stuff for schools or something, and they were they were overbuying things to launder money. I forget exactly how the scheme worked, but we came across another news story that kind of gave a logical explanation to like, why would this woman buy all these wings? How was all the money that she spent approved and authorized to like buy those wings? Because maybe there were people that were trying to launder the money through her by buying these. Who knows? But it's amazing. There's a follow up.
Yeah, I mean, and I had thought, okay, if it wasn't an international money laundering ring, it's probably just trying to see if she could order extra wings and sell them to any of the local.
No, she'd never get away with that, Ed, because that stuff's not going to last very long.
No,
you're talking about perishable meat. I go to a grocery store. I bought 3 watermelons last week from my corner grocery store. Went through over the course of 4 days. I had one. By the time I got the second one, it was spoiled. And I've often wondered what kind of a loss do grocery stores go through with all the food they got to throw out that spoils, fine produce. Those chicken wings, which are meat and perishable, no matter. Well, I guess you can freeze it for a long time.
Yeah.
But.
Well, and I don't think she didn't order them all at once. I think she ordered them, several cases at a time over a long period of time. And so it's possible that, she got them delivered to her location, loaded them up in a van and drove them over somewhere else. And they put them in their walk-in cooler. And that might have been a repeat process over and over again. But again, we still don't know. Nobody followed up with this story, not even WGN.
You forgot to run that. Kathy, in answer to your question, my health update, as of 3 days ago, I had no back problems whatsoever. After 3 days ago, I went to go pick up my Jeep from the shop, and I got out of the car that I was using, and suddenly I started feeling more another ache in my back, but not a sharp pain. So let's keep our fingers crossed it doesn't return. Maybe I was just sitting the wrong way in my car.
So maybe
my dad's
that steroids kicking in.
Well, the steroids did kick in. I've gone out 2 weekends in a row now. Well, we went out to go see the Scovilles Saturday night, you and I. And then I had lunch with an old friend of mine on Sunday, which was nice to get out and see her. And the prior week, I'd gone on that the 100-year-old train. So it's like I've been making an effort to get out now that I'm not constrained in the house because of the injury that I had. But, 2 days ago, I'm like, oh, no, not again. I mean, I'm just getting used to having my freedom back, Kathy. So hopefully I'll be all right. But thanks for asking.
Oh, you think they would mind if we played a little bit of what we got to see over at the bar the other night?
If you have video queued, sure, you can share. Yeah, because we did promote it Friday night. Get a little glimpse of the Scovilles, led by my friend Steve Soblowski on guitar.
Check this out.
And you know what? They're performing again this weekend. I'm not sure. Pause it. I'm not sure if they're performing Friday or Saturday. If it's Friday, I need to get figured. Okay, you play their video. I'll see if where they're performing. If they're not performing Friday, I'll promote their Saturday venue. I'll look it up while we listen to what happened this past Saturday.
Now you're gone. I didn't realize I could miss you the way I do. You make me sorry. I gave you reason to be happy, and now you're gone. Now left here all alone with blue memories. I think of you.
Stop it. Pause it. Okay, so they'll be playing Friday at 9:30 p.m. at the Out of Space, which is also in Berwyn. It's during our show, but I would recommend people go out and see them. You've had enough of us tonight.
Yeah, if you
if you like their jam there, go ahead and check out the Scovilles playing at Out of Space this Friday at 9:30. I'm trying to find the address. You know what, Ed? You'll probably have better luck sharing.
All right, well, let's watch some more of that, and let me see if I can find some information.
I sent you a link.
Keep on falling for you, baby. Now you're gone, and now somehow I'm gonna have to pay for the times I made you blue.
Okay, pause it.
Hang on.
I need you reason to doubt me.
I'll just turn it down a little.
I'm probably going to have like 6 copyright strikes to appeal tonight.
The Scovilles will be at Outer Space.
But I don't see an address.
Friday, 9:30, and that the Outer Space is.
It's in Berwyn, but
let me see if I can find the location here. Oh, here it is. That's doesn't have an address.
Doesn't have an address. I know. That's what I've been like searching for.
Why doesn't it have an address? But it's off of 32nd Street near Grove Avenue, just west of Oak Park Avenue. So
Kathy's having a procedure on the 17th. Is it for your back? By the way, I logged into my North Shore health account and to discover my bill for 3 days in the hospital. 3 days of bed rest and painkillers. You know what it cost, Ed? You want to guess what it cost? Guess what it cost.
$2,000.
$2,000. $2,000 is my copay.
Oh.
The 3 days in the hospital, $23,000.
Jesus.
For 3 nights.
That's
an MRI, constant pain relief, which I appreciated. Luckily, Medicare has paid the first $21,000, but I owe another $2,000. If for anybody that wants to keep talking about this is the best healthcare system in the world, I mean, luckily Medicare is able to negotiate a fair rate with. Otherwise, it would have been a lot more. You know that for those 3 days in the hospital. So, Kathy, I don't know what you're having done. I remember reading on your Facebook you said that you were having some difficulties getting some tests done or getting treated, but I didn't see the details to what it was about. So I wish you luck on that. It's on the 17th. That's got a little over a week from now.
I think we're wrapping it up here.
Yep.
So thanks everybody for watching. Come find us again on Friday evening around 7:30 Central Time. Jerry's driving the bus, the space bus, with Streamkit Oreo is the navigator.
What do you think? You going to join us? All right.
So, with that said, I want to thank you all for joining us, and I have a few little tidbits for you. The first one is,
if it bleeds, we can kill it.
and the second is,
where does all this come from? How do you get funding for something like this? You don't actually think they spend $20,000 on a hammer, $30,000 on a toilet seat, do you?
That was a big joke. What a funny explanation for why these things cost so much money. It was the truth.
It's true. That's real. And so good night, everybody.
Hey, Lana.
I was going to tell everybody to drink plenty of fluids and stay hydrated, but I saw a news story. Okay, I'm gonna take a minute to talk about this. Okay, a woman sadly died after being on vacation and getting severely dehydrated. Then she had tried to rehydrate too quickly. She drank too fast, drank too much water, and slipped into a coma and never woke up. It's terrible. All from drinking too much water. Now, I don't want you all to go, okay, well, that's it. I'm never drinking a drop of water again. That's not the lesson to be learned. The lesson is moderation. If you are severely dehydrated, you don't want to drink a fish tank full of water to get rehydrated. You got to take it slow. You just, I mean, but if you're thirsty, you know you got to drink water. So stay hydrated responsibly.
Do you know what Kathy just did? She changed her pledge on Patreon from $6 to $40.
Kathy.
And as much as I appreciate that, Kathy, we love you. I'm not going to let you do that. You've got as many bills, if not more, than we have to deal with. So that is a very, very gracious, wonderful sentiment. I am going to figure out how to refund you, though, not because we don't appreciate the sentiment and the support, but I think you're probably in as dire straits as we are. But thank you so much for doing that. And but you don't need to do that in the future. You've been very supportive, and you've already been a Patreon for so long. You don't need to increase your pledge like that. $6 a month is fair enough. But thank you, and I will sanction you off the air later. I just wanted to thank you though for your very, very sweet gesture.
Yes, thank you, Kathy. Look, if you're out there and you want to help us, but you can't financially help, I understand. We're all having a hard time right now making ends meet. But what you can do is help us by spreading the word that we exist.
It's the best.
So, just share the program. Share a video, like on the occasions where we put video clips together that we want to feature from some of the shows that we've done. Share those clips. Share the live stream when we're live. Share it after we're live. Let people know, hey man, subscribe to the channel.
Look at this. Look at this outpouring of support. You guys are wonderful.
You guys are awesome.
Let's just hope that Google or YouTube puts it in our Google sooner than later. Yeah, share the show. Remember, it's the Chicago Corner News Brothers Review. You on the motorcycle, you two girls, share our program to your friends on social media. The Chicago
Snork Y2K. Damn, Snork Y2K.
That's very kind of you.
Covering Kathy with $40. Holy cow.
Come on, Kathy. You didn't win any raffle.
Lana just gave us 20. She said she's laid off, but here's a tidbit. Lana,
guys,
come on, guys.
Sharing the show and finding new audience is just as valuable. Thank you.
Yeah.
Bring on the nun. But Kathy is our sister Mary Stigmata of Chicago Corner. That's the nun's name from the Blues Brothers, Sister Mary Stigmata.
Yeah, that's a great name. We're gonna double up the nuns tonight.
Get out. And don't come back until you've redeemed yourselves.
Yeah, no, we're not out yet. We're still here for a few more minutes. And
I feel bad for asking for support.
No,
I know people are going through worse stuff than we are. And we're not appealing specifically to our regulars because they've already done so much for us. I guess it's the new people and also just finding new supporters for the program, new viewers.
Yeah, I mean, look, you're all awesome out there. Keep being awesome. That's an important thing. Keep being awesome.
Really do appreciate
Like I said, Thank you for all our supporters out there. You guys are great. Independent media is a hard thing to do, but if you get out there and you decide you're going to do it, it's good to have friends who support other friends doing it. So thank you to everyone else out there in independent media supporting us. We like to support them when we can. Usually it's a shout out to let people know that those guys exist. For example, the Indie News Network, RBN, Revolutionary Blackout Network, is really cool. Check out. We don't have to tell everybody Jimmy Dore exists. He's got plenty of people following him.
And he's
and
great.
There's other people.
Did you see his segment that he did? Look, I'm probably gonna get roasted for this, but he did and I shared it on my Facebook. He said everything I'd been thinking about gender affirming surgery for kids. I'm supportive of trans people, supportive of LGBTQ people.
Yeah.
But when kids in California cannot use a tanning bed until they're 18, even if they have their parents' permission, and there are doctors giving gender affirming surgery to 8-year-olds, we're out of control. And he did a whole segment on this. And I was just like, he most reasonably laid out when it comes to these politics as they affect kids. Something's gone out of control here. Because I'm always, and I've said before, it's about protecting kids.
Yeah, we've talked about this before. It's actually a fairly basic position to take, to say that if a person doesn't have an adult brain with a fully formed brain, then maybe they shouldn't be making these decisions until they do.
Adult decisions, again, can't use a tanning bed till you're 18, can't drink till you're 18, can't get a tattoo till you're 18, can't vote till you're 21, can't carry a gun and serve in the military till you're 18. Oh, but we can cut your penis off when you're 8 years old.
Yikes.
Because at that moment you think you're a girl. And it's like, hey, some kids think they're pirates. Some kids think they're cartoon characters. Okay. So, and what he was talking about in this segment was that a lot of kids in this era say, thank goodness when I was that age and I thought these things, maybe if a woman went through a tomboy phase, she grew out of it. And she realized when she was older, it was a phase. So let kids be kids and let them make these decisions when they're older, because the decisions that are being made now in the name of political correctness and everybody being labeled as a transphobe because they might have a problem with how this stuff is being thrown at kids who are not grown up enough to really understand this stuff is just absolute horseshit. It's bullshit. It's nonsense. It's insanity. And Jimmy did a great segment on it. That's why I was talking about this, because I was like, and it was very reasoned, Ed, and there was no comedy in it. I mean, he was just like, this is madness. And the fact that, you know where it came from, Ed? The fact that there was a doctor that did gender affirming surgery speaking before Congress, okay, to describe the process. And the Republicans took a vote on whether or not this video was going to be shown or not. And the A's had show the video. All the Democrats who didn't want to see the video got up and walked out. It's like, you guys want to promote this gender affirming surgery for minors and kids who don't know any better, but you don't want to listen to the video from a doctor who's actually advocating for it. So this is all about distractions, right? Jimmy was also saying, do we still have racism in this country? Yes. Is it as bad as it was 20 years ago? No. But we're still making it out as gender equality. Is it bad today? It's kind of bad, but it's not as bad as it was 20 years ago. Okay. These are all distractions to keep us divided. And as it relates to the conversation about the LGBTQ community and transgendered people pushing an agenda that brings kids into it, and the Democrats who support it don't even want to sit through a video from a surgeon who's describing the process quite proudly, we're through the fucking looking glass here. It's madness. So
yeah. So again, I think it's important to promote the independent voices,
like Jimmy.
And I'm just gonna go through the channels I'm subscribed to right now, just to highlight a few. Around the World with D and Friends, they're a good channel to subscribe to.
News Nation.
I'm subscribed to News Nation because they seem to be giving us some pretty good content. Black Power Media, that's a new one to me. Do Dissidents, those guys are pretty cool. They have some pretty good analysis. Check out Keaton and Russell over at Do Dissidents. Let's see. Jordan Howlett, he does those Instagram videos where he gives you the fast food secrets. He actually likes deep dish pizza better than New York pizza. He didn't think he would, but I thought that was pretty cool. Beauty and the Boomer, they're really great over at Roar Media. Definitely be subscribing to them. And then who else do we have?
Where's Secret Show Extra Bulla?
Here's Sabby Sabs. She's part of the Revolutionary Blackout Network, but she also has her own channel.
Yeah, Revolutionary Blackout Network I like. And then we've also got Jimmy and Warren over at Extra Bulla.
Yeah, so Extra Bulla and Mundus Ultra, subscribe to those channels. And then what else? Danny Haifong is good sometimes. Indie News Network is actually a conglomeration of a bunch of independent people. They have, some of them have their own channels, but they also broadcast on the Indie News Network. And you can see right now that Jesse Jett, he's a musician from Michigan. I think he's in Michigan. He makes a lot of political songs and poems and stuff, and he's pretty cool. And now he has a show that comes on after ours usually ends. Sometimes we run long, so like his show is going on now. That's actually where I'm going to head next when our show is over.
I haven't had a chance to check him out yet, but he comes highly recommended by Jimmy and Warren. Willie Bragg, Bragland.
Yeah, Willie Bragg is cool too. I think I'm subscribed to his channel. It's just not showing up on my feed right now. Yes, and that's just a handful of the independent broadcasters out there that are just trying to do their own thing, and a lot of them are trying to basically give you the information that mainstream and corporate media aren't going to give you.
Idaho Joe, I think he's still over at KRTD Media.
Yeah, on the show.
Yeah.
He's running for mayor, right?
Yeah, in Idaho. Yeah.
Yeah. So it'd be nice to follow up with him in a little bit, see how he's doing there. But as you can see, there's a whole ecosystem of independent media that you're probably not even aware of, and I would just put a little bit more of it onto your radar. So,
all right, I'm faded.
That So, if you feel so inclined and you've got a webcam and a decent internet connection, maybe join us in your own way and become part of us.
You will never find a more wretched hive of scum and villainy.
Did I mean to say that? No. All right. Okay, I'm getting worn out now. I'm just doing silly stuff now. Okay, Warren says they're drawing the lottery in 3 minutes. I forgot to buy a ticket, so I hope if any of you out there bought a ticket, you'll think kindly of us if you win.
No, don't think kindly of us. Keep it for yourselves.
Keep it for yourselves, but also, seriously, I got bills to pay. Good night, everybody.
Fuck this noise, man.
Get out. And don't come back until you've redeemed yourselves.
You're still here? It's over. Go home. Go.
The views and opinions expressed in this program are those of the speakers and do not necessarily reflect the views or positions of any entities they represent. If you would like to be a guest on Chicago Corner, please email our host, Jerry, at chicagocorner.tv.